there is an expectation of not necessarily similarity of expression, but similarity of context, similarity of syntax. Not in an abstract way, not in a disconnected way, not as some meaningless ephemera which we tolerate because we find the ends justifying,
when he returned from his first long trip away from us, or the green leather
but simply because it exists. It exists,
moments delicious
and it is beautiful.
My eyes.
There are many ways of going about this, but we can't really get much further than we already have until we get that point straight.
The more one studies on this subject, the more time one dedicates to this subject, the more an expectation of reciprocity, of appreciation of the self from those that one appreciates is an injustice to them, as it is asking them, without asking them, to do what they perhaps cannot. I wish I had the craft necessary to impart, to truly impart the sensation of a thought taking shape.
And utterly unlike how other people engage in the process. For many persons, myself included, these are the primary questions. These are the issues of principal importance, which is not to say that they're of principal importance in any grand macrocosmological sense, but simply that in terms of personal investment, personal priority, maybe what I've laid out so far is convincing. Maybe it isn't. Maybe you found it to your interest. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you found it more interesting in its objectionability. But at least in objectionability, you have given it thought. And that's something.
An injustice to the self, to oneself, in that one is making one's self-valuation contingent on that which is impossible. Those ends towards which one would bend their individual effort. This is the central issue towards which other solutions, other tools are applied. You have to be able to take your own thoughts, the process wherein you come up with them, your interaction with them, the entirety of your inner experience. We have to reach a point where you take it seriously. And this does change how a person regards the subject, and how a person regards their own engagement with the subject. So long as this expectation of reciprocity remains unchecked, the more extravagant our frustrations.
You have to be able to take your own ideas seriously.
And the more likely it is that those frustrations would push us from that which makes us, us. From that which presents the problem in the first place. That appreciation can turn to resentment very easily. Very easily. So long as one maintains that expectation of a reciprocity, while simultaneously defining that reciprocity in such terms that it is impossible. Better still, should I be able to understand it in such a fashion that I could impart it to others so that they could do it themselves. So that they would do it themselves. If I could provide sufficient motivation, not just motivation, but the means, to allow others to experience not only their inner landscape, but the landscapes presented by the existence of others. The push towards alienation is profound. The push towards resentment is profound.
Seriously enough to be recorded, seriously enough to be explored, seriously enough to be described, seriously enough that you are willing to, at least from time to time, engage it to the exclusion of other considerations.
And there are few things as important as resisting that push with everything that we can muster. It's a very fine line to walk, but one that, for the sake of pursuit of understanding, but also in the hopes that that understanding is not merely ornamental, that that understanding can in some way bring benefit to those that we seek to understand, including ourselves. It's a line that must be walked very, very carefully. Maybe it is there, and just regarded as unimportant.